So what I will do is that I will create a loopback 0 interface or maybe loopback 1 interface, and I will assign the IP address as 100.1.1.254 slash 32 or maybe 24 network, that's fine. And this will be belong to the LOP or yep, LOP zone, so loopback zone. So let's go ahead and create the loopback. So what I can do is that you see that in the network interface, you do have a loopback. So click on add and the loopback will be number 1. And I will say virtual routers will be default zone. I will create a new zone that should be LOP and the IPv4 should be 100.1.254/24 and we want to allow ping for this interface. Click on OK. Slash 24 it should be slash 32, so let's go ahead and change. It is not taking slash 24 anyhow. Slash 32 and commit that one. So now we have also created a loopback now, but all of them are in a different zone. So now first discuss about these two zones for the sub interfaces. So currently the R2 and R3 are not able to communicate. They are only able to communicate to the Palo Alto. So what we are going to do is that we are going to create a policy saying that the DMZ1 should be able to communicate with DMZ2. Similarly, reverse traffic, DMZ2 should be able to communicate to DMZ1. So in that way, what happens is like R2 and R3 are able to communicate via the Palo Alto. So currently, if I go ahead and if I say that do ping 20.1.1.1, sorry, that should be on R2, I'm not able to ping. Alright, so my configuration has been committed. So if I go back to my Palo Alto now, show interface, question mark, I should have a loopback dot one. So you should see that slash 32 with IP address. And the management profile as a ping, it is a layer 3 and it should also give you the zone LOP. Okay, interface 1.1, where is that one? Yeah, it should also give you the zone information. LOP, yep, it's here, zone LOP. Alright, that's all good. Now the configuration is good. I have the loopback. Let's get the policy for the zones now for DMZ1 and DMZ2. So let's go to the policies. We will add a policy. We will say DMZ. Source will be DMZ1 and DMZ2, both of them. Bidirectional traffic. Destination will be DMZ1 and DMZ2. Application will be this. And okay, allow. Commit and commit. So once the configuration is been pushed, so I should be able to communicate with each other. So irrespective of from where the traffic is being initiated, both of them are should be able to ping to each other. Right, let the commit finish up. So if I go back to my R2, I wasn't able to ping 20.1.1.1. So commit configuration was successful. Now let's go ahead and ping it. Now we are able to ping 20.1.1. Now, if I go back to R3 and if I say that do ping 10.1.1.1, I'm able to ping. So currently the traffic is from the both ways. So what if you decided that, okay, I don't want from the bidirectional, I want only R2 going to R3, but I don't want R3 coming to R2. So direction can also be defined. So DMZ1 should be able to reach to DMZ2, but not DMZ2 should be able to reach. So let's go and edit that same policy now. And I will just to say that source will be DMZ1 and destination will be DMZ2. Source is this one, destination is that one, and click on OK and OK. So using the zones, it is making you easier to configure the policies in the direction also. It's not only that you can create for the bidirectional, it is also a good idea for the what what I can say is that in a particular direction. So currently, if before we configured the policy as a bidirectional, so both of them were able to initiate the traffic. But now this time we only said that a single direction, that is from R2 to R3, not from R3 to R2. So that's why we should not be able to ping from R3 to R2. So we should be only able to ping from R2 to R3. Okay, let's go back to the R2. So ping is allowed from R2, and from the R3, now the ping is blocked because we changed the direction. Now the direction of the traffic is only one way now, not two way. So that's why. So using the zones, you see that how simpler it is to make the policies. Now, other thing is that since I have many zones, so what I can do is that I can also allow R3 to communicate with loopback, but R2 will not be able to communicate with loopback. So let's go ahead and create one more policy that will be for the loopback LOP. Source will be DMZ2, destination will be LOP, application will be any, that should be any action is allowed, click on OK. All good now. So now what should happen is that once we are configuring the policy, now R3 is able to communicate with LOP, that is loopback. But R2 will not be able to reach because definitely they are on the different zones and you are not able to communicate until and unless there is a policy. All right. So that is the benefit of zones in here. So the intention of making this video is that no matter where you are making, so if you remember that they are sub interfaces and here the interfaces zones are DMZ1 and DMZ2, but they are allocated to interface sub interfaces. But for the main interface, there is no zone. No zone is allocated to the main interface. But still, by using the policies, we are able to make these two different zones to communicate with each other or multiple zones to communicate with each other. All right, so let's go ahead and see configuration is committed. So I will go to R3 and if I say that do ping 100.1.1.254, you see that I'm able to ping loopback. But the same thing if I go ahead and if I say do ping 100.1.1.254, I'm not able to ping. For another one more example, what I can do is that I can allow the traffic of inside to the outside so that I can able to ping R1 should be able to ping to the server. So let's go ahead and create one more policy which says that in to out. So direction will be always from inside to outside only, from not from outside to inside. So destination will be outside, application, service, any actions, and OK. And let's go ahead and commit and commit. So now my R1 should be able to communicate with the server as well as the ISP. But Palo Alto should be able to ping the, so if I say ping host 192.168.122.1, it should be able to ping. I'm not sure why it is not pinging. But the other side, they are able to ping this one. So even though if I say ping host 192.168.122.20, it is still not pinging. But if you remember that from the uh, what do we say, from the server router, we are able to ping to the Palo Alto interface. All right, so configuration is committed successfully. Let's go to the R1 and if I say that do ping 192.168.122.20, I should be able to ping. because we have allowed the policy from source will be inside, destination will be outside, application. Okay, so let's go back to the network. We will see the interface 1/2, and you see that 192.168.122.10 advanced ping is there, configuration is outside, default route. Yeah, everything seems to be fine. There is no issue with the configuration. Yep, inside, outside, and I think I'm able to ping to the Palo Alto. That is also good. And if I go to the Palo Alto and if I say that show routing route, and I do have 192.168 network and the default gateway which is pointing towards the next hop. So if I go to the server and if I say that do ping 192.168.122.1, yep, I'm able to ping. So in my topology, this is the NAT cloud. So from the server router, I'm able to ping to the NAT cloud. I'm able to ping to the Palo Alto, but Palo Alto outside interface, I'm not sure why it is not able to ping to the next hop or the this hop. But the other way around, they are able to ping with each other, but not from the Palo Alto side. But if you look at the configuration is exactly correct. There is no issue with the configuration. It's a layer 3 interface, default routes, virtual router, a security zone is there, IP address is there, advanced ping is there. Yep, everything seems to be fine. Click on commit and commit. So if I've created this policy from inside to outside, that should be able to ping. But I think there is some issue with the Palo Alto in the GNSC, so that's why I'm not able to ping to the outside. So I just need to delete the topology, the whole thing, and recreate a new topology and check if it is doing the same thing or not. But since it's a virtualization, anything can happen, so no need to worry. So I have committed one more time to see if that fixes a problem or not. So let's see. Successful. Let's go back to the R1. We will try to ping 20. Still we are not able to ping. So what I will do is that for testing purpose, I will allow DMZ1 to inside zone. So let's go ahead and create a policy. Okay, source will be DMZ. I will select the same policy. Source will be the DMZ1. Destination will be now the inside, and okay. Okay, let the commit finish. So in this way, by this way, we can try to uh, check if it is only happening with all the interfaces or it is only happening with the outside interface. Okay, almost done. Alright, so the direction is from the DMZ1 to the inside, not from the inside to the DMZ1. So configuration commit successful. So that should be from R2, I should be able to ping R1. So let's go to the R2. And if I say that do ping 172.168.1.1, yep, there is definitely some issue going on here. So if we go back to the network, interface 1 that is able to ping, yes, outside, inside, that is routable, everything is good. And in the policy also we have allowed the DMZ1 to DMZ2, and inside DMZ2 to the loopback we are able to ping, but inside to outside we were not able to ping, and DMZ1 to the inside we were not able to ping. So yep, so definitely it might be a GNS3 issue, nothing more. So just need to delete the topology and re-add the topology. But the main concept of this lab was to see how many zones, how you can utilize the zone when connected with the policies, like using the policies. The zones will make you understand more easier to create your policies because you just are focusing on the object which says that zones. So it doesn't matter what network it is, which interface that one is. You're only interested now, focus is that okay, the inside interface should be able to communicate to the outside interface. In the policies, it makes simpler for you to understand that the inside to outside you have to allow, and so and so application, so and so services you are allowing or blocking the traffic, or so and so traffic, your specific traffic you want to block, you are able to create the policies in a simpler form using the zones. So I hope this was informative for you, and thank you.